I'm going to spend the next 24 hours playing as an assassin in Atomfall, where every NPC you see can be killed. There are no invincible characters, no blood armor. Any person I see will go down.
I can't die here.
This is Rebellion's brand new single-player first-person action survival game, the studio behind Sniper Elite and Zombie Army. The game recently launched on March 27th and is now available on all platforms. I am loving the atmosphere and mystery it has, especially exploring every nook and cranny of the open world. It is set in an alternate 1962, 5 years after one of the worst nuclear disasters in British history, the Windscale Fire. It drops you right into a quarantine zone in the Lake District of Northern England. My goal in this video is to test how open the game actually is by trying to kill every NPC I come across. From my understanding, you can take down everybody and still complete the main story. Huge shout out to Rebellion for sponsoring this video. Play Atomfall on Game Pass, consoles and PC via Steam or Epic Games Store now using my link in the description or the pinned comment. So here we go. This is how I became the deadliest assassin in Atomfall. I woke up inside a bunker and suddenly a wounded scientist burst into the room asking for help.
Who are you?
Turns out we were inside a quarantine zone near the Windscale atom plant. He had a keycard that could help me get out of this place, which he would hand to me if I gave him some bandages.
Please.
Got the keycard and a note saying that the secrets were inside the interchange. Find the truth under the Windscale plant. Rummaging around the bunker, I grabbed some supplies which let me craft my first bandage. By squeezing through some tight corridor, I was able to get to a door, which unlocked thanks to the keycard the scientist kindly gave me. Then I got a notification. I needed to search for a place called the interchange and find the secrets of the Windscale plant. Suddenly, I heard someone talking. The place was full of vegetation. I was free to roam the open world. A telephone cabin. I answered the call.
Oberon must die. Oberon must die.
Soon after, I met an old man.
I've seen you around this stretch before. Where did you come from then?
When I asked him about the mysterious phone call, he said I was crazy.
Phones have been disconnected for years. Take a knock on the noggin, did you?
I tried convincing him I was telling the truth, but
You're starting to worry me now.
he outright stopped talking to me. Got his weapon, plus a hatchet I grabbed close by. After crawling under a door and doing some climbing, I stumbled upon a dead body and loaded my first firearm, a shotgun. Later on, I realized there was a huge strange anomaly in the sky. It looked like some sort of energy floating in the air, like a magical storm. Sure, check that out. Exploring the area some more, I stumbled upon an outlaw and silently took him down. I got spotted. Had to take some distance and hide between the tall grass to wait for the right opportunity to strike. Going after the rest of the bandits, they started throwing Molotovs, burning one of their own. I almost stepped into a tripwire. I wasn't able to disarm it because I lacked the necessary skill. Finally, I found the last one of the outlaws. When I aimed the shotgun at him, he got scared for a few seconds, but tried to attack me anyways. Checking the place out, I got to a building with a locked door. It was barred from the other side. I wasn't able to climb up to the roof, but I looted a couple of supplies around, including some potatoes and a note, which seemed to be from an outlaw. After spending a good amount of time running around trying to find a way in, I gave up. The good news was that I managed to find a flashlight. Going up some stairs, I grabbed the collectible, a comic book. There were even a few pages I could read. Next, I tried to dispatch more outlaws, but I got detected. Outnumbered, I decided to run. Doing some parkour trying to escape, I jumped over some water while avoiding getting shot, ending up in the entrance to some sort of cave where I hid. Inside, I met with Reg Stansfield, a miner who looked really scared. He had some supplies to trade. He seemed not to be all in there.
It's nice to talk to someone, not just a voice in my head.
The voices whispered to him about hidden places.
Listen, I used to work these mines. The biggest one, the boffins took over when they arrived, started building something inside. Interchange. That was it. I never heard the voices say that name.
These voices had some link to whatever was inside the interchange.
A few months back, people outside the wall sent in a convoy. all soldiers and that. They'd have been heading to the interchange. There were an ambush. You'd maybe find some clues if you search through wreckage. I'll mark the spot for you.
Lastly, this tunnel was part of an old cart route, could take me in and out of the Dale, but it also went to the soldiers' territory, Scathermore.
Can't recommend that, not unless you're keen to get yourself shot or burned to a crisp.
Before leaving, I checked what he had for sale. What really caught my attention was a metal detector. I could trade it for one of my weapons. Or not. With the metal detector and a new shotgun, I advanced through the mines, finding a restricted area. Squeezing through it, I reached an exit that said Scathermore, the place Miner mentioned. I decided to take a look. This is what I found. Besides the giant robot with the flamethrower, I also found this strange magical looking plant. Close by, I found a patrol of soldiers next to some sort of outpost. I tried taking one of them down, but the old crazy miner was right. Going back once more, I found another phone ringing.
This land looks safe. This land is not safe. You should be cautious in this land. This land may kill you.
Strange. Right by my side, I found the door to a cellar. Going inside, I got swarmed by a group of rats. I had to stomp each one of them down. Squeezing through another wall, I stumbled upon a barred crate, which contained some training stimulant. This worked as skill points. Here's the skill tree. You can discover more skills by finding books throughout the world. The skills I wanted required multiple points to buy, so I decided to save it for the moment. Next to the crate, I found a revolver. Had a pretty cool animation. A small detail that I really liked was that there was no ammo counter. To know how much ammo was remaining, I had to manually check it with the reload button. Exploring the place a bit more, I found a couple of buttons hidden behind some paintings and also a lever. Activating it opened some secret passage. This room had a board with math calculations and even a map on the wall. There was a note. Someone overheard protocol soldiers talking about an entrance to the interchange at the foot of the concrete tower in the military camp. I had to take a look. Going down the ladder, I found another barred crate with the training stimulant. After checking the rest of the place, I left. Now I had a marker on the map with a possible entrance to the interchange. The thing was, entering this place was impossible. As soon as I got close, an alarm started blasting, making all soldiers come to my location. I managed to take down one of them, but I was only able to loot a couple of bullets and a rusty LMG before running away to the caves. Exploring the rest of the mines, a swarm of bats came and attacked me. Every single animal seemed to want to take a bite of me. I came across a corpse with a hazmat suit, holding a first aid kit. Then, going through some more tunnels, I reached another exit to Slatendale, and right after, another bandit, checking a crashed helicopter. I tried to sneak behind them, but I was detected. Since she only had a melee weapon, I was able to stop her by just pointing my gun, but again, not for long. Nearby, I found the corpse of Private Dagonet with the lockbox key and the coded message. Absent yourself from the convoy as soon as possible. Be discreet. There is a shed in the Slatendale rail yard. Make your way there. If I cannot wait, I will leave supplies. Use the key to access them. Aggravate. Suddenly, more outlaws. Got a rifle now. Following the coordinates from the coded message, I placed a compass marker where the supplies were supposed to be hidden. Walking alongside a river, my metal detector started beeping. Treasure nearby. Following it, I crawled under the broken door and found the cache. It contained a makeshift grenade recipe and some supplies. After finding out that dropping from the waterfall wasn't the right idea, I tried heading to the secret stash location, but got absolutely blasted from every angle by outlaws. While running for my life, my metal detector found something again. This time, it was some pistol ammo and strings. Then I came across a trader called Molly. I asked her for information, but it would cost me. I convinced her to give me something for free though. She marked another entrance to the interchange in my map. Then I checked what she had for sale. An atomic battery able to power bar the equipment. Interesting. She also sold a stealth manual and a key to open a concrete bunker door in Slatondale. If I traded stuff with her, she would give me more useful information. I wanted the stealth manual. To get it, I had to offer every supply I had and all melee weapons. I completed the trade. Thanks to trading with her, I got more info about the convoy.
Aye, I saw someone come away. They were a ways off, but I suppose it must have been one of the soldiers. They went towards the rail yard.
She also talked about a faction called the Druids, crazy folk in masks. After talking with her, I found a note about a trader in the woods. I was really tempted in letting Molly live, since she seemed to be really useful and a nice... I got all my stuff back, plus the items I wasn't able to afford. Things were looking good, until... Once safe, I crafted a bandage to heal and also read the stealth manual I acquired. This unlocked 3 new skills, which were really important for my specific playthrough. Quieter takedowns, movement, and surprise attack. I unlocked the quieter takedowns to begin with. Finally, I reached the convoy wreckage. There, my metal detector found something. It was a lunchbox. Inside, there was some string and a grenade. Investigating the place, I grabbed the note. It was a corporal's log. I needed to go to the rail yard to see if I could find the survivor of this crash, but not sure how I'll be able to do so with so many bandits around. Looking around some more, I found a corpse full of arrows and another note which contained military orders to find the interchange. It all seemed to point to the same location in the area. I should go there. Checking every nook and cranny, I stumbled upon a waterfall. Following my instincts, I went through it, and to my surprise, I found a secret cave. There was a campfire, and next to it, a corpse of another soldier. He had a few supplies, a comic book, and a note saying, "Masks said we're going to take us to castle. Help." Must be the Druids. Not sure what castle they meant. Nearby, I opened a chest where I got a new blade. Leaving the cave, I saw some outlaws in the distance. I tried to stay out of sight. Right behind me, I found the door to some bunker and the note from Molly. She was selling this place. With the key I got from her, I guess I was now its rightful owner. The place was some sort of dark, eerie sewer. I slowly moved forward. I wasn't alone here.
Nothing here, of course.
I reached the door that required a sewer tunnel key. Looking around the place, I found another piece of paper talking about the mad Druids. They came through this sewer, seemed to have destroyed the convoy and taking the batteries to their castle in Atomfall Woods. The symbol seemed to indicate the way there. I followed it until exiting the sewers. This was a whole new area. I went through a rocky corridor, following the symbols. Suddenly, a notification said I was trespassing. This was Druid territory, and they didn't seem to be the friendly type. I kept advancing, until finding something called the Stone Circle. It was someone or something on a cross, full of plants and spores. It no longer seemed human. It looked like that magical plant I saw before. A few steps forward, I found a note. Someone speaking about hearing a voice talking about the purpose of the Druids, a rebirth, then a door to a cave. This didn't look good at all. I stumbled upon some sort of shrine surrounded by candles and food. Moving forward,
Stranger spotted! Help me!
Thankfully, no one else got alerted. I rummaged around some supplies, jumped over a tripwire to grab some ammo, and another druid spotted me.
Death to unbelief!
I kept grabbing all the supplies and food I came across. At one point, I saw some sort of cage full of birds hanging from the top of the cavern, and fought another enemy. This one had bright eyes, seemed to be under some kind of spell. Continuing down the cave, I jumped over another tripwire and climbed through a really small hole, discovering a small basket with a poison bomb and some food. Going even further, I encountered a full group of them.
Watch it!
Finally, I found the one thing I needed to be a true stealthy assassin, a bow. Next to another shrine, I found a note. It talked about someone called Mother Jago, who had a tonic that allowed them to walk close to the soil. She had a home at the old mine nearby. I had it marked on my map. Going through a door, I found another shrine full of that strange blue plant and lots of skulls. Also, a barth crate. The cave has so many different paths that I got lost. I wasn't sure which way I came from. At one point, I found another note talking about voices again. I saw a skeleton inside a cage. Crawling under some rocks, I found some spores that I wasn't able to interact with because I liked the blue finger's skill. I ran around in circles in the cave until finally finding the way back. But then...
Careful, won't get jammy twice. I'm gonna put you down. Murder.
I explored the area further, stumbling upon some sort of house. Had to deal with the druid from a distance. Then, a note talked about 3 emergency override valves. They needed to be closed in proper order to stop the fuel flow. The house door was locked tight. Couldn't break the lock. Right after, I seemed to have stepped into something that started a flame trap. It blocked the garage entrance. By following the right order of the valves, I turned off the trap and managed to grab all the supplies from the place. Further down the road, I got attacked by some strange insects. They seemed to have the same color as the spores I saw before. I destroyed them and their nest. Climbing up a wall, I arrived at Datlow Hall grounds. There was a dead body. The place was a mess. There, I met an old lady, Prudence Rook.
And these wretched weeds. Oh, hello there. You must forgive me. I wasn't expecting visitors today. And, oh good heavens, Jenks should have taken your coat. Jenks? Had him for years, bless him. I'm sure he'll be along shortly. Prudence Rook, delighted to meet you. Welcome to my little corner of the world. I was just looking over the garden. We've rather let it get away from us, I'm sorry to say.
She was really creepy. She seemed to host scientists. Her sister could tell me more about their secret facilities.
She hosts them in the conservatory.
She said that we couldn't go inside the conservatory. They kept that area locked. She had the key. She also told me that her servant Jenks was going to the dam northwest of here. I tried convincing her to give me the key, and she agreed. Looking around the mansion, I found a note saying that the entrance to the interchange was south of here. It was super close. I headed there. On the way, I stopped by some village outskirts, and then a tower. An alarm started blasting. I couldn't get through the doors, so I continued my way to the interchange. Then I ran into a huge gate with some flags at its sides, thinking this was it, but...
Visitor.
Well, well, well. This village is under military occupation per the quarantine protocol. You're new round here, eh? Which means you're free to enter. Just keep your nose clean, all right?
This was Windham Village. It seemed to be under military occupation because of the quarantine. I would take care of this later. After this, I came across the actual entrance to the interchange. One of the rooms had 3 training stimulants, plus plenty of supplies. I used the car to get through security. Going up some stairs, I found a pneumatic dispatch tube. This functioned as a personal chest to store any items. After freeing up my inventory, I used the car to open the interchange door. Going in, another swarm of rats attacked me, but this time they had glowing eyes and the place was full of spores, fungus. Going through another door, I discovered a corpse with a note. This scientist was hearing voices. As I went further, I walked right into Oberon, the name the phone call mentioned. It was written on the floor. Moving forward, I crawled under another door, walked through a hallway, and after using my card once again, I reached the central processor.
Do you require the operator?
Yes, I do. Are you the operator?
Perception is key.
Perception? What are you talking about?
Listen to me. Listen. Everything depends upon the interchange. It must live again. And then Oberon must die. Oberon must.
I had more questions than answers after this. Next to me, there was a corpse with an atomic battery, a note, and a 9mm pistol. I put the battery into the bootstrap system. It restored power to the console, which appears to begin an activation process.
Data stores offline. Central processor offline.
The announcement said they required atomic power. Going back, I started hearing some outlaws nearby, and right after, I was able to open a door to Data Store Alpha. Walking down some stairs, I entered the room full of spores. I got really hurt. I even got infected and started hearing voices in my head. There was nothing else I could do here, it seemed. I went back from where I came from, dealing with the bandits, finally exiting the interchange. I decided to visit Windholm Village to search for the batteries needed for the main quest. Of course, it wasn't to murder everyone there.
Not sure I like the look of you.
Phone call.
You have done well. You have installed a battery. The interchange starts to live again.
You want me to power up the interchange?
Yes. Find more batteries. Install more batteries.
After taking down another villager, I found a note. A woman called Maisie was following someone for the priest. They entered a rat-infested cellar at the top of the hill in the village. With that done, I went around and crawled under a hole, walked up a river, and ran across a tent with an abandoned backpack. Climbing up some more, I arrived at some ruins. The place was full of rats. They seemed to never end. While fighting them, I stumbled upon the entrance to the cellar, the one the note mentioned. Once inside, I grabbed a Molotov cocktail crafting recipe, and then crawled through another hole, which led me to a message. It was a letter to Morris Wick, instructing him to kill Macy, calling her the priest's spy. Leaving the cellar, I dispatched another guard with my bow. Then, had to be careful of another huge guard robot. Entering a ruined house, I almost got spotted by a soldier. Carefully, I looked through a small gap between some wood planks. No arrows left. Trying to get deeper into town, got spotted. The robot saw me, and I had to run as fast as possible. Finally, I arrived at what looked like the town center, blending in between the people. Not even the robots recognized me. I was at the village green. I stared at the guards' faces, waiting for them to jump at me at any moment, but they didn't. Walking through the town, I searched for anything of interest. Saw a door with a message saying to keep out. They were barred from the other side. Going through an opening, I climbed on top of some sort of furniture and grabbed some hidden ammo. After wandering for a while, I entered the village hall. I was inside the Wolves' den. There, I met Captain Grant Sims.
New faces often mean trouble. Where have you come from?
I told him I was just a wanderer.
Wyndham is under the protection of the Protocol. I would hope a stranger like you can provide me with some information.
Perhaps. What do you want to know?
I want to know where you came from. I want to know what you can tell me about the outside.
What would I get in return for helping you?
Trust me, you will be much better off aiding Protocol than crossing us. So I ask again, did you come from the outside?
My memories are gone. I don't know where I came from.
Well, this is disappointing. And if you still wish to have Protocol's aid, you'll just have to make yourself useful to me in other ways.
What sort of ways?
The civilians in this village are a shady lot. If you find anything I should know, come to me with it. We've had our eyes on Iris, the baker. I could send a patrol in, of course, but a softer approach might prove more efficacious.
Do you know of a place called the Interchange?
That is a very dangerous word to be bandying about. I suggest you forget you've ever heard it.
By letting them think I would help them and that I was on their side, I would be able to get info and move around the city, to do as I wished. Sims suggested that I investigate the Windham Village bakery. The owner seemed to be up to something. Might as well play detective for a while. At the back of the place, there was a chest called June's lockbox. It required a specific key. There was also a protocol documents chest, but Sims had the key. After taking every single toilet paper roll from them, I cleaned their kitchen from all the useful stuff. The tricky thing was to stay unnoticed. The main hall had a soldier wandering around. I waited for the perfect opportunity to take action. Grabbed everything he had. Going to his chest, there were a couple of notes, a grenade, a weapon, and a combat steam recipe, but June's key was still missing. After exiting the hall, I discovered St. Catherine's Church. It was beautifully decorated, but then I saw this.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're closed today. Please leave. Just forget you saw anything here and go.
You want me to ignore a corpse?
These are awful times. If news of this gets out, things will get worse, I assure you. It's vital the military don't learn of this. If the captain and his toy soldiers find out, things will become so much worse here.
I found a letter that ties Morris Wick to the murder.
The shopkeeper? Then I must ask something of you. You're embroiled in this now. You must find some way to deal with Morris.
What's in it for me?
What's in it for... Oh, good grief. I have an artifact I could part with, I suppose. Help me with this murder business and it's yours. Now that Maisie is dead, there is no one else I can trust to be able to carry out such a task. And in the spirit of reciprocation, if you are in need of my help, you need only ask.
I found some of Mace's notes. Was she working for you?
You did? I see. She ran errands for me. I asked her to keep an eye on certain people. I have a certain arrangement of sorts with some of the villagers. I offer what I can in return for a small donation to the church. But it is necessary for me to keep some eyes on them as well.
What sort of devices do you provide?
Have you perhaps been hearing voices?
Only briefly, but yes, I have. What does it mean?
You have? It is a sign of vile corruption. I saw it in the baker's husband. The baker, Iris, told me he was hearing voices and had fallen terribly ill. I haven't seen her husband for a number of weeks now, so I trust she came to her senses and took the necessary action. You don't seem to be showing any other symptoms, however. Perhaps the corruption has not taken hold.
The priest sent me on a mission to assassinate Morris Wick. I had his location marked on my map. I headed there.
Welcome to Windham Village. How is it the soldiers let you in?
I have a letter tying you to Mace's murder.
Shh! Shut your bloody trap before you bring every nosy bastard in here. See, we're a rotten one, that'n. Tattling folk out to the vicar so he can load it over us. I'm no killer. Not born to it, but she were poison, that'n. And so is vicar.
The priest was spying on you?
Truth is, he worms his way into people's lives, finds out about matters that won't sit well with soldiers, and holds them over us. Blackmail it is. Pure and simple.
You can't justify a murder.
You're just the same as her, a bloody quisling.
Next place, the bakery.
Oh, who are you? You're not with the soldiers, are you?
I heard your husband is ill. What happened to him?
What? You know that he's... Look, I'll talk, but only to show you I'm doing nothing wrong. You have to keep quiet about this, please. My husband, Philip, he went off exploring with one of his pals. He said they were poking around in an old bunker and walked into a cloud of funny glowing spores or something. He told me he started hearing voices. He says the voices hurt him. Whatever it was, it made him awful ill.
Where's your husband now?
He's upstairs, locked away, safe and sound, and not doing anything to hurt nobody. We've had one mite of luck. Came by a special tonic, which does something to settle the voices in his head and keep the infection down. At least, while we can get it, it does.
I've heard the voices too.
I'm sorry, but I don't have any of the tonic left. I know where you can get some, though. There's a lady, calls herself Mother Jago, out in Casterfell Woods. Could I trouble you to get us some of the tonic? Just a single bottle.
Mother Jago, the one I read about back at Casterfell Woods. I would have to leave the town and head there next, but before doing so, I started hearing voices. I needed the key. Once I got it, I went to the room. He was possessed, like those druids. The bedroom was a mess. I found the consumables manual on the desk, unlocking 3 new skills to buy, and left the bakery. Back with the priest, he already knew about Morris. He gave me a key for a box upstairs with my reward. It contained an atomic battery. I needed to take this back to the interchange, but that's for another moment. It was time to actually become the deadliest assassin in the zone. Don't forget to check out Atomfall on Game Pass, consoles, and PC by using my links in the description or the pinned comment. Thank you to Rebellion for sponsoring this video.